we're going to talk about the cosmic entities being in Avengers Endgame, specifically 3 of them, 2 of which have already been mentioned in the MCU. So I'll be talking about them and be talking about how it seems to line up perfectly for them to enter Avengers Endgame. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to my channel for Marvel and superhero related videos. So, like I said, there are 3 cosmic entities that I want to talk about, all of whom are very connected to the events that have already happened in the MCU, and of course, Avengers Infinity War specifically. And how not just one of them, but all 3 of them could be this new threat entering into Avengers Endgame. If you're not aware of the new threat or you're skeptical about it, let me explain. Originally, this new threat came from a toy leak. On the back of the box of a toy, there was a description that said Thor and Rocket would have to face against a new threat. Some people thought this was fake because the toy leak was fake and therefore the new threat was fake, but it actually doesn't matter. Because not too long ago, a book came out called Avengers Infinity War, The Cosmic Quest Volume 2 Aftermath. This book is canon to the MCU, meaning that everything that is talked about in this book and that happens in this book happen in the MCU, whether we see it on screen or not. And you don't even have to read the book to find out that there is in fact a new foe coming in Avengers Endgame. You can just read the back cover of the book. And it reads as follows. A deadly threat emerged from the cosmos, and it was fulfilled. In the wake of Thanos' horrifying success, the people of Earth are left reeling in despair and confusion. Without any logical explanation for the blip-out event, those remaining must pick up the pieces. Dr. Eric Selvig and his associate Darcy Lewis are determined to find and understand the cause of the devastation. With a team of friends, both old and new, they embark on a pursuit of knowledge, eager to discover the links between their own past and the stones that decimated half of humanity, the Infinity Stones. Little do they know that a new foe who threatens to destroy them all is looming. So again, this book that is canon to the MCU states that Thanos was successful in his snap, but a new foe is looming and threatens to destroy them all. So a new foe is coming, and it seems like it could be cosmic entities based on the way some things are lined up in the MCU. So I mentioned that there were 3. Let's start with number 1, Eternity. Eternity is the actual embodiment of all that there is in the universe. He is and has control over the reality of the universe. And Thanos just severely changed and altered the reality of the universe. So Eternity probably has a problem with somebody altering the universe since he is everything in the universe. Now, some people think that the cosmic beings are just too much for people to handle and they won't introduce them into the MCU. But here's the thing, they've already been introduced. The Celestials are cosmic entities and they've already been introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the Guardians go to nowhere, which is actually just the severed head of a Celestial. Then when the Collector is explaining the Power Stone, we actually see another Celestial, Esson the Searcher. And then of course in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Star-Lord finally meets his father, who is in fact a Celestial. And not to mention Star-Lord was half Celestial as well, that is until he killed his dad. And it's very important to keep in mind that there are different levels of cosmic entities. Yes, there are some extremely powerful Celestials, but the ones in the MCU pale in comparison to Eternity, who has control over the universe. And Ego himself actually makes a reference to this in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when Star-Lord says that he's a god. Ego replies, "Small g, son."
I'm what's called a celestial, sweetheart. A celestial like a god? Small g, son.
This is because there are actual cosmic entities who control the universe, such as Eternity and the 2 others that I'll mention in this video. And know for a fact that these cosmic beings do exist in the MCU. We learned this from the book Thanos Titan Consumed, which again is canon to the MCU. We learned that the cosmic entities are out there and actually watch over the Infinity Stones. In this book, Thanos asks the lore speaker why no one has tried to collect and use the Infinity Stones before. And here's what the lore speaker says, a direct quote from the book. They are hidden, Thanos, and because the Celestials and others, the ones whom the Celestials fear, keep close watch on the stones from afar. So again, the Celestials are very powerful, but there are others more powerful than them whom the Celestials fear. And these are cosmic entities who actually have control over the universe and watch after the stones. Again, such as Eternity and 2 others that I will mention. But again, this book is canon to the MCU, so they exist in the MCU. And many people believe that Ego actually showed Eternity to Star-Lord.
Eternity.
If you notice in this scene, Star-Lord's eyes turn black and he sees stars and planets and essentially the universe. And he himself says, "I see it, eternity." Now, eternity is a reference to time, or never-ending and infinite time. Yet Star-Lord says that he sees eternity. Why would he say that if he saw the universe? Many people believe that he said that because he actually saw the cosmic entity eternity. And this ties directly into the Infinity Gauntlet saga in the comics. Eternity actually goes head to head against Thanos in a fight after the snap to take back control over reality and the universe. A fight in which Eternity actually loses. But before that, there's a very important part that actually ties in another cosmic entity to possibly appear in Avengers Endgame, and that is the Living Tribunal. The Living Tribunal is pretty much the strongest entity in the whole entire universe, with the one above all being the only entity stronger than him. The Living Tribunal's purpose is that it oversees and maintains balance in all the realities that constitute the universe, and he serves as a judge to these realities. And one of his main purposes is to actually make sure that people do not use all of the Infinity Stones. So in the Infinity Gauntlet saga in the comics, Eternity holds a cosmic summit. The cosmic entities appear and Eternity seeks judgment against Thanos from the Living Tribunal. Eternity says the Mad Titan seeks to unbalance that which is, throw the nature of the universe into maniacal entropy. This sounds like something that we could see in Avengers Endgame. Eternity is definitely being threatened by Thanos using all of the Infinity Stones and wiping out half of the universe. And the Living Tribunal is the judge of the universe, and it is his responsibility to make sure things like this do not happen. And the Living Tribunal already exists in the MCU. There is a direct reference to him in Doctor Strange. He is literally mentioned by name.
This is a relic. Some magic is too powerful to sustain, so we imbue objects with it, allowing them to take the strain we cannot. This is the staff of the Living Tribunal.
So it is absolutely 100% clear that the Living Tribunal exists in the MCU. And the nature and the balance of the universe, which is the Living Tribunal's job to uphold the balance, is at jeopardy. So it seems very apparent that the Living Tribunal would have some issues with Thanos using all of the Infinity Stones to wipe out half of the universe. And the last cosmic entity that we could see in Avengers Endgame that is connected to the events is Kronos. Kronos is a cosmic entity with control over time and the power cosmic. And he's also Thanos' grandfather. In the comics, he creates Drax the Destroyer for the sole purpose of killing Thanos, so he's not exactly his biggest fan. But again, he has control over time, and everybody is pretty much expecting time travel to be a huge part of Avengers Endgame. And he also has the power cosmic, which gives him universal cosmic awareness. So he should be aware of everything that has happened with Thanos and the Infinity Stones and the Snap if he exists in the MCU. And he should exist in the MCU because, again, we have been introduced to cosmic entities. And in Avengers Infinity War, Red Skull mentions Thanos' father, Alars. Well, Kronos is the father of Alars. Before Kronos was a cosmic entity, he was an Eternal, and we know that an Eternals movie is coming to the MCU. And Thanos is an Eternal himself, so there are a lot of connections here that tie back to Kronos. And since Thanos has basically messed with the balance of the universe and the Avengers are going to use time travel, there's a good chance that Kronos might want to interfere a little bit. So these are the cosmic entities that are linked to the MCU in some way. And these are new threats that could come into play in Avengers Endgame, but also not take the main villain role away from Thanos. Because they could appear, but they could also appear and let the Avengers handle the situation and wait to see how it plays out. And at the end of the day, if the Avengers end up defeating Thanos and undoing the snap, they just go away. But we know that Phase 4 of the MCU is going into the cosmos, so this would be a really good way to do an actual introduction to supreme cosmic entities in the MCU. So let me know what you think about these 3 cosmic entities possibly showing up in Avengers Endgame. If you're new, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on all the Marvel related news and Avengers Endgame. And as always, thank you all so much for watching.